Hello everybody, I'm Slashing VC, and I've got some patch notes from the Steam platform about changes to Cataclysm, the last generation. For those of you that are following my series, I've got 1 or 2 episodes coming out that are pre this patch, because I was a bad boy and I recorded ahead just a little bit. I had things to do this weekend, so I had no choice. But I'm going to throw this patch notes up. This patch came out yesterday, and this video will publish at midnight, so it'll be very current. And so here it is. Patch notes for 821. Almost all guns, except for launchers and high-powered rifles, have received a substantial range buff. Hell yes. It's pretty much +4 tiles across the board, but up to +8 for some weapons. SMGs generally always have more range than pistols. 9mm has a slightly longer range than before. 40 S&W is now slightly longer than that, as it should be. 22 long rifle is a bit longer than that, as it should be. This also quietly nerfs the needle pistol's range. Don't know nothing about that. Sunglasses now significantly inhibit your night vision, but not in your normal vision. Okay, well, that makes sense. Brimmed hats, hoods, helmets, and transition lenses offer protection from glare without inhibiting night vision. Mesopia can no longer be cured by corrective sunglasses or transition lenses, as that's not how mesopia works. No clue what mesopia is. I've heard of myopia, but whatever. The anti-glare compositors, there's a whole thing about this glare thing. I can't be troubled. Fingertip razor CBMs are now toggleable. Basic Migo, no longer bash. This is a big one. They're not meant to come off as super excited to run you down. They're more just curious. You're a specimen, not dinner or the hated enemy. Well, that's kind of cool. I like that. That makes a little more sense. I'm going to try to say hello to Amigo in my next episode that I record. Probably I'll record one tonight. Climbing using furniture and opposite walls works again. This is big. It will still be impossible if there's a downspout or something in the tile and you are too big to climb it, but you can just smash it to get rid of it. So opposite walls. So I should be able to get in the corner of a building and sort of ninja my way up, theoretically, or pull a chair or up to it and then climb up the chair. I got to put that on my to-do list of things to try. No more fake hordes on the map. This is a biggie. This is huge. I may play a clip from one of my episodes regarding this. Oh my. Wow. Well, we've gotten close enough to the city to see way off in the distance the rising dust of rampaging hordes of zombies. Not sure taking this trail is going to be a safe option. How in the world are they really? Are the hordes really fleeing the city? Oh, no, 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 no. Because it says these were the product of the code making some bad assumptions. And what's worse is that they were drawing for all unspecified monster groups. Oh, really? Okay. A monster group is not a horde. A horde is a group of zombies which have banded up and is wandering around. So displaying size 10 or 20 hordes all over the place when there's actually just like 4 unspawned guys who aren't wandering was very bad. This will also stop displaying fake zombie masters on the map. What was that? I think that was our episode 3, maybe. And I was trying to drive around and I'm just seeing horde displays everywhere. It was terrifying. And yeah, then we drove up on one and there was only 4 guys. It really confused me, so I'm glad that got fixed. Thank you. Some stuff like scent maps and visibility maps existed as keybind options. Didn't know that, but yeah, that's not good. There's no reason for these debug tools to be attached to keybinds. So they took that off. They're still in the debug menu. So, you know. Fixed the gold bracelet having 0 coverage and 20 encumbrance. That's some serious bling. Extended search radius for helicopter crash starting missions. That's cool, because I plan on doing helicopter crash next, probably, after I fully become an insect. Reworded abandoned scenario text. Oh, okay, we'll have to read that. Added a warning message to the Sky Island mission. I don't play Sky Island, but you Sky Island guys will probably like this stuff. Removed a reference. Bad overmap terrain obsolescence for older saves. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds wild. Removed the ability to make leather out of zombie hide. Well, damn. If I'd have known we could do that, I would have done that already. Frogs now use similar life cycles to spiders and dragonflies. They don't always evolve, and more importantly, they eventually die. Bullfrogs, non-mutated, should persist pretty much always as a source of meat in the swamps. Oh my God, I never considered that. Thank you. Though, as time goes by, you'll be harder and harder pressed to find it, and mega frogs are now fairly rare. Brawler, Wayfarer, and Oversensitive System are gone. If you want to avoid these things for a gameplay challenge, you can simply avoid them. Sugar houses can now come infested with rats or roaches. Enjoy. Thanks. Yeah, we appreciate that. I'm sure. Reduced the book spam in some gas stations. Well, thank God I got my books out of that gas station before that change happened. Slingshots use the throwing skill and do not train Archer's form. Removed most of the zombies from the Mego sites. This the map gen was weird, and it was spawning a bunch of hulks and stuff outside very early game. Yeah, I noticed that. And that goes back to DDA, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's cool. I see no reason for that to be going on at the Mego sites either. I agree with that 100%. Cleaned up a bunch of stuff that displays in the item panel. This gets rid of duplicate pocket contents entries that can be stored in section. It was lying to you, and removes a bunch of redundant, erroneous info from ammo in particular. That's interesting. Duplicate pocket contents entries, that was kind of annoying. I mean, when you knew it was there, you could kind of read into it, but that's probably a good disambiguation right there. Raised the damage threshold for ablative armor to become compromised from 20% of its max protection to 30%. This should mean that your Isapi gets messed up by rocks and zombie punches a bit less often, though it will still happen occasionally. Nice. New tiles. At Ataxis 9 contributed crayfish, brass knuckles, and more, while I added 2 new ferals and re-added the mega frog. Awesome. What tile set is that, though, folks? Which tile set? Removed Mesopic from Ursine and gave it to Bovoid. In real life, bears can see pretty well in daylight, while cows and deer are quite bad at it. Well, that's just like your theory, man. Ursines gain nictitating membrane, allowing them to see underwater. I thought that had something to do with nipples, but apparently not. All carnivores that don't get eat poison, that is, the Iranian, reptilian, feline, and beast, instead get eat poison weak, which allows them to eat 25% more mutant meat per day without getting sick. This should make it a bit easier to keep those mutants alive, especially in the early game. Lupines are no longer carnivores. They get the carnivore fake mutation like Ursine, which still lets them get all the cool predator mutations, but they can eat anything. Ursine's broad paws mutation grants a slap from hell if you have mutated or bionic claws of any kind and make an unarmed attack. Ooh. This attack has a good chance to knock opponents down. Downed opponents can trigger your maul attack, which is a powerful bite. So now you can finally do the thing from that one movie where Leonardo DiCaprio got ate by a bear. Reptilian IR range drops from 60 tiles to 14 tiles. Sorry, pit vipers are cool, but it's not the same thing as wearing high-tech goggles. Well, all right then. Frog eyes are actually an actual body part now. They have mesopic as before, but now have a higher reaction and night vision score than human eyes. This is a dodge block buff for batrachian, though frog eyes are slightly easier to hit. Huh, that's interesting. Reptilians gain lidless eyes, and reptilians and piscenes now get an integrated body part from this to represent the protective scale over their eye. It should keep bile, smoke, water, and some physical attacks and acid out, but they'll still need some sort of eye protection when poison gas gets its eye effects added. This integrated item is on the personal layer and has no encumbrance, so it's a straight up bonus. Well, we like bonuses. Reptilians lose fast healing, and reptilian healing no longer grants you super regeneration at all times. Instead, reptilians get slow healing, and reptilians' healing effects only kick in if the temperature in the character's tile is at or above room temperature. Well, keep your reptilians warm, folks. Encumbrance threshold for the legs, all legs, has been bumped up from 6 to 8. I guess she means bovoid legs, reptile legs, bird legs. That means you essentially have 2 more free points of encumbrance to work with on the legs. Drop leg bags for everybody. Regular claw attacks from mutations or bionics are now twice as likely to occur. These don't need a strong negative weighting, since if you're fighting barehanded without gloves, it's safe to assume you want to use them. Fixed an issue where reptilian mutagen wasn't triggering mutations. That's a big issue. Thank you. Fixed a bug where the RX-11 stuff wasn't wearable. Huh. Added some old newspaper snippets and made the years old newspapers all properly appear in your lore tab. Oh, cool. I'm collecting newspapers this run, so yeah. Other newspapers will start doing this as I have time to review and edit them and write new ones. Hive Hulks now have a 1 in 40 chance to instantly die when they spawn a flesh raptor. This prevents them from spawning endlessly, but it's not common enough to rely on to get rid of them. Hive Hulks have also lost their grab and bite attacks, as that didn't make sense. Crawling zombies and all pupating zombies have the blob body type, meaning they can't be knocked down. Adds a lifestyle penalty for getting to low. -25 or very low -50 morale in a day. These penalties only proc once per day and are very small. On their own, they will not outweigh vitamins and exercise, but being miserable is not ideal. Cool. User Scale 2X added a fix for ruminant not actually destroying some plants when it ate them. Corpses now won't switch to their fallback tile when they're 1 tile northeast of you. They'll do it when they're under you. I would like them to stop doing it at all, but 1 step at a time. Fungal zombies have stopped randomly changing to variant tiles. Mutant meat now has a chance to lower your lifestyle. The chance is lower if you have adaptations to eating that kind of thing, or if you try not to eat too much. It's generally fine to supplement your diet with it, and won't tank your health on its own, but neither is it optimal. There you go. This was a question I had earlier when we were driving past, what was it? Well, I think it was the mutant ravens. And I was thinking, man, I'd like to kill and eat one of those mutant ravens. I mean, because I could really go for some raven right now. But I didn't know what the effect of eating mutant meat was going to be. So apparently, mutant meat in moderation, and we're okay. So that's good to know. Shrinks giant ladybugs. Why were they so big? And make them a lot tougher but a bit slower. Give both kinds of ladybugs a leap attack. Make them less strong against bullets, LMAO chitin, and afraid of fire. Giant ladybugs will die off around fall or wintertime. And that's pretty cool. Giant ladybugs were like absurd. They're probably still pretty crazy, but I have seen a giant ladybug tank like the biggest swarm you've ever seen. Removed famine, the huge variant of the locust. Not everything needs a huge variant, and huge cow-sized things kinda don't fit the idea of a locust swarm. Yeah, I kinda agree with that. Fixed an issue where 0 damage attacks were proccing very small bleed effects on monsters. Well, we're all gonna miss that one, I know. All right, so those are the patch notes for 8/21/2025. I'll see you in my regular series coming out at least every 2 to 4 days for the foreseeable future. Hope you got something out of the patch notes, folks. I know I did. I'll see you in the comments. Take care.